everyone, Be Crafty 12 here. I just wanted to let you know that I'm starting a video series on how to create this mini album. It's a 6x6 mini, and I'm going to show you how to create it. But first, I wanted to take this time to do a video on items that you're going to need to start creating mini albums of your own. Um, I was asked to start doing tutorials on my minis because there are some people that are very intimidated by doing them, and other people that they've watched other videos and um, they basically give you the cutting measurements or tell you your basic needs, and that's about it. I'm here to show you not only basic things but also alternative things that you can use. So let's get started. Today I wanted to tell you you're going to need, for your basic tools to make a mini album, you're going to need some sort of cutting tools. Now, I have my Fiskars cutter. Um, these are not true cuts. If you do a 7x7, it's going to come out wonky every single time on this cutter. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Fair warning. They're not true cuts. When you cut a 7x7 and then you go to set it on here, it's going to be a little wonky when you go to do it for scoring. So anyway, this is a cutter. I'm going to be getting the Stampin' Up! Cutter. It's got a little bit wider base. It's a 6.5-inch base. So it gives me more than enough room for most of what I need. So I'll be getting that. Um, but you're going to need a cutter. If you don't have a cutter, you don't have to invest in one. You can use scissors. I have a small pair for cutting small items or fussy cutting. Fussy cutting is nothing more than taking an image and cutting it out. Like we got this mailer today, and it had some. Well, not today. Yesterday we got this mailer, and it had some little um, Disney pictures. So I just cut a base thing, and then fussy cutting is just where you would actually cut out the exact image or cut out so that there's just a small little border. Don't know if everybody knows that, um, but I've been scrapbooking for a long time. Well, not really scrapbooking, but paper crafting for many years. So I've learned a lot of these techniques. So I have a large pair of scissors for bigger items, cutting big pages, and then more intricate, delicate scissors for cutting small things like I would cut this. Okay, so you're going to need some sort of cutting tools. That's those. The next thing you're going to need is adhesive. Now, I use Aleene's Tacky. It's cheap. It's easy. It works good. It's very tacky. It bonds just as quickly as some of these $7, $8 brand type things. And my glue doesn't touch pictures. So if you're going to glue a picture onto your albums, then of course you may want to use some kind of archival glue that will not yellow your pictures and things. But for making the basic albums, everything that I glue in, everything that I do, the glue never touches any pictures. So tacky glue works just fine. It's $1.99 for this bottle. Um, I bought that at Joann's, not at a discount, so you might be able to find it for even cheaper. I would even go with buying a really big bottle and then just refilling your containers. So this is what I use, and I also use this is Miracle Tape. It's double sided. It has a plastic top to it, and it's sticky on this side. So when you put it down, you lay it down on your page like that, and then I run my finger across it. I tear. It's so easy. Red line tape. You have to cut everything. It takes so long, and then it takes forever to actually get that off of the other side of this sticky tape. I've learned over the years that if you just go like this over the tape, it actually makes it so much easier to just pull it right up. Okay, so um, I use this tape. It's very good. It may not be the best on the market. I know some people swear by Score Pal and Score Tape, things like that. I have not ever used it. I actually have a roll upstairs in my craft room, but I've never used it. I'm not going to tell you I swear by this tape because I feel this tape has gone down in standard from when I first started buying it. I do buy the 1/4 inch. I probably will start adding 1/2 inch to my orders from now on because I find I double up on this to do a 1/2 inch border all the time. And if I keep doing that, then basically I'm using twice as much tape here as I would my other roll of the other tape. So this is the adhesive. This is all I use. Um, I then have you down for cardstock. Now, uh, Joann's or Michael's has got a sale going on right now, $5.99 for these big 48 stack pages of their paper pads. I've got them in every color that they had. I've got purples, and it's got like an arrangement of all different colors, a range of all different colors to choose from. This has got 48 pages in each one. My album that I've created, I will be using one set of the one color. Um, each of the colors has 6 pages, and I'm going to create an album using just those 6 pages. So you'll be able to get plenty of albums out of the one stack. Now, granted, you do have to supplement with other paper, other cardstock. And regular paper doesn't cut it. And cardstock varies as far as the uh, niceness of it. Some of them, when you fold it, it bends, it breaks, it tears, it rips. You want to, if you buy the cheaper quality paper, you want to be a little more careful with it. I found absolutely no problem with this paper whatsoever. Um, I used it on my book and it turned out lovely. There were no splits in it, but I also pay attention to what I'm doing with my book. Um, so, anyway, so cardstock, that's the one thing. You'll also need pattern paper. So, this is what I made the album with. It was also on sale, 48 sheets. It has a lovely array of monotone colors. Also has 2 pages of these, which I thought would be nice little pullouts for the album. So I'm going to cut those out, add a little backing to them, and they'll either be picture pulls or tags for the album as well. So, but lots of beautiful papers to use. You get 2 pages of each of these designs throughout the whole stack. Okay, so then you'll need that as well. Um, You'll also need chipboard. Now, some people swear by buying chipboard. I do not buy chipboard. I've never bought chipboard, and I will not buy chipboard because, first of all, you'll buy a pack of 25, it'll cost you $6. Well, I already buy products and bring them into my home, and then I get these packages. Okay, this was Tastefully Simple. It's got a nice piece of, this is chipboard. It's got a nice, not super thick. It's kind of like a medium weight. I have file folders. Now this one is thinner than this, but if I double it up, I glue it together, I burnish this down, and I let it dry. I throw it off to the side and I let it dry. And then I'll come back the next day or whatever and I'll cut it down to the size I need. This is the same thickness as this. I also I got I did a swap with the lady in one of our groups, and she sent me this little priority box. It was only like this big, and uh, so she sent this to me, and I was like, well, I can definitely use this chipboard because it's very thin. I don't recommend you going to the post office and stealing all their priority boxes because that's not what they're meant for. Some people say it's okay to do that, but I don't want my rates to go up any higher because you've stolen all the boxes. Use them up if they come to your house. Amazon things as well. We had this other thing that had a fairly, this is a thick chipboard. So if you're going to make a bigger album or with more pages, you might want to do a thicker chipboard than this. This is about an 1/8 inch thick. This is about a 1/4 inch. No, I'd say this is about an 8 inch thick, and this is probably a 16. Um, uh, I also the some of my cardstock comes with um, a real thin poster board. So if I want to, I can use this as well. This is very thin, so I would double up on it in order to use it. This, on the other hand, was in one of my products. It actually had product inside of a bag, and this was backing it so that it didn't bend the product. Well, that's beautiful, thick cardstock. I mean, chipboard. So I'm going to use that in a project as well. Um, some other things that you can use. Now I also collect everything in a bag. I tell my husband, my kids, all that stuff. Please don't throw anything out because I'll check the size of it. Now I may make a long, thin chipboard cover for with that. I've got some other things, thin pieces. Um, some of the mailers that they have. This was from cereal boxes. Now this is super thin, but you may use it to help you support um, your pieces. So anyway, you do need chipboard of some sort. Like I said, I don't ever buy mine. If you want to buy it, go right for it. I'm not going to purchase stuff like that because to me, I have enough expenses as it is. Okay, so and also some of your papers, some of your beautiful paper stacks that are smaller stacks. I bought a Halloween pack not too long ago, and I actually got it from Oriental Trader, and it was only like maybe 10 pieces in there. But because there was only 10 pieces in there, they stuck a nice thick piece of chipboard in there that was a 12 by 12, or actually it was a little bit bigger than a 12 by 12, that covered the paper so that it didn't get all smashed up in delivery. So you want to keep an eye out on that because those are definite things that you can use instead of buying chipboard. I want to spend money on this stuff. So anyway, next thing is a bone folder. I use Martha Stewart's bone folder. Nothing special about it. I use this bone folder, and this is my score tool. This is the one that came with my other Martha Stewart scoreboard, which I dislike. It's actually cost more money than this scoreboard, but is it gets in my way. I'm a left-handed person, so I hold on this side and I score on this side. So the cutter that they have, it sits on this side. It just aggravates me. I actually ripped it off, gave it to my mom, gave the whole scoreboard to my mom, so that I can do this. Now, if you don't have a scoreboard, you don't have to go run out and buy one. For years, I never had a scoreboard, and this just makes it easier. Having the scoreboard makes things easier. Now, the Stampin' Up! Has got one. Um, I'm a representative. I demonstrate for actually just for fun right now, but um, they actually carry one as well. But I like the lighter color one just because I'm having trouble seeing. I'm getting up there in age, and I like the lighter color because when I use a lot of dark colored cardstock, you'll see a lot of my projects. I use black, gray, all that kind of stuff. So it's just easier for me to see on this one. So I use this one. Very easy to follow. I've been using it for years. Before that, though, I will say I just used this, and a knife. I used a butter knife that had a rounded tip, just kind of like this. It had this serrated little part up here for the butter knife. And I would just stick my page down, measure what I needed, and then just went like this and scored. It worked just fine. I was able to do everything I needed to do to make my score marks for my pages and stuff. So I think it works just great. Um, I also always have paper and pen on hand in case I have a problem with something. These are just the basics. You might have want to add a hole punch. Um, I do a 1 inch hole punch here. This helps making where you're going to do a pull out or a tag right here. You could do that, and you'll have your tag and it'll pull out, so it has a thumb hold. So I just use half of the punch to make it. And then this one here is actually, if you look at that, is actually from the envelope punch board. I love this as well because you can put a tag into a pocket, and or you can do it like with the one of the pages that I have in here. You can actually do that with this and have this beautiful little accent there. And you do the paper, you cut your paper down before you do this, and then you add this, you just punch that out, and it'll add just a little pretty accent to that. Anyway, also, like I said, paper, pen, I always have that on hand, so I can write down anything that I may need. I like to make sure I have all my measurements. I cut all my papers down first. Then I do all my scoring, and then I like to put everything together. My next video is going to entail putting your base pages together. So you're going to need your cardstock for that particular process, and you're going to also need adhesive to seal up. You're going to need some scrap cardstock. I just go to my scrap stack of cardstock. You need at least 1 inch size pieces. So just measure out 1 inch pieces, and as long as they're 6 inches long by 1 inches, you can get a bunch of those ready. Those will become hinges for you. I use them throughout my book because this is an actual 6 by 6 page, so that I'm cutting all my 12 by 12s in half so that they're 6 by 12s. And that's what I will be using as my base pages for all these. And then we'll start putting the base pages together, and then I will explain to you how to add all the little attachments. I did an array of um, uh, extras for the album so that you see how to how to do them, and then you can change them up and do them however you want. If you want this particular pocket to be on page 3 or on the back side or anything, you can do anything you want. You'll just have the basic instruction on how to do it. This will make you an awesome album, and you can change up, like, you'll make all the pages first, and then you won't put them into the album until you're ready to finish everything. And you'll decorate all that stuff before you put everything into the album. The album cover is the last thing I do. So anyway, and then you're going to use up every piece of your cardstock, all 6 sheets of cardstock you will use. And then you're going to use approximately 7 or about 6.5 pieces of designer paper for the inside. And that's not including any tags or pullouts, because we're also going to have to do pullouts, tags on the side, photo mats on the side, and then we'll also have some, like for here, we'll have a couple of little photo spots or journal tags to put into these as well, because I want it to be very interactive. But you'll have a base of pretty much all kinds of different things. There's this type of pocket, there's a side pocket, there's a top pocket, there's the angled pocket. This one's got the flap down. This one has a belly band, so you'll see how to make the belly band. And then this is another pull out, which you'll be able to figure out how to make other pull outs just as nice. This one's a waterfall. It's a 3-tiered waterfall. Makes it easy to learn how to do the waterfall. Some people are so intimidated by this waterfall, and it's about the easiest thing you can do, besides just a piece of paper on the board. So this is another flip that goes to this side. Here's another flip that goes like this. And then these are also little file pockets. So So you have those, and then this one flips up. This one is a pocket that goes in the front. Very easy to do. I don't want you to be intimidated. Get your tools together and come back and see me next time for the second video of the series. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Be Crafty 12 out.